Hello, and thank you for clicking on my channel, Cali Legends Media. I'd like to thank all the subscribers that have subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. Also, the notification bell. Click on the notification bell if you'd like to be notified whenever a new video comes out. Then you could go back later on and watch the video. Okay, let's get right into this. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have already heard that El Mayo, one of the leaders of the Sinaloa cartel, along with the Chapitos, El Chapo's sons that run the Sinaloa cartel, was arrested. It first came out he was arrested in Texas, and then I heard this morning on BBC that he was actually arrested in New Mexico. Now, I was wondering, like, how did they know he was going there and everything? Well, obviously, he was set up in some way. Well, it's been told now on the news that he was set up by one of the Chapitos, one of El Chapo's sons, set him up. Now, I don't know what's the truth about that. We'll find out later, because he'll have to testify in court and see this through, if he did that for any type of leniency. And from what I understand, he was subtly directed to the wrong jet. Who directed him? I don't know if it was El Chapo's son, if it was the pilot. I'm not sure who did it, but he was directed into the wrong plane. Okay, he was supposed to be going to Mexico. And it turned out that this plane was already there to take him to his final arresting, where he'd be arrested, to that place, which, like I said, on BBC, they said this morning that was New Mexico. Also, they said that he was betrayed by one of El Chapo's sons. Now, if that was true, it comes by no surprise, okay? In all organizations, in the Italian mafias, all the big organizations of organized crime, you have people who fall away and drop out, you know? And part of that process is them testifying, and it's usually for them to get some type of deal, or they get something out of it. You know, some get paid, you know, for being informants. Nevertheless, Chapito's son, one of the Chapitos, one of El Chapo's sons, had reason to turn this guy in, apparently, in his mind. And I'm sure El Mayo was already suspecting something going on. You know, you really can never trust nobody, especially in any type of organization, you know. Even in neighborhoods it happens, you know. They catch a group of guys, they're going to court, and then they find out one of them all along's been working with the police, and or decides to work with the police to work out a deal for himself, so he don't ride along with the rest of the guys off into prison. Betrayal is very common in that type of these types of organizations. You know, it happens all the time. Anyway, so we have this guy who was running the Sinaloa cartel, and he's now arrested and removed from that position. So what's next? Somebody's going to just take that position and continue pushing, you know? It might put a little damper on things. There's going to be a lot of mistrust. Nobody's going to trust nobody. This is a real bad look on all the Chapitos, you know, not just that one brother. Who knows what heads are going to roll? But there's gonna probably be a little bit of a house cleaning, whether for good reason or not, you know. Like, in other words, whether the people that get dealt with were actually involved or not. There's probably a lot of suspicion going on right now. So you have that, and then on the news they ask about, well, you know, this is one of the most biggest suppliers to all the I think 5 continents on the world where they supply fentanyl and other illicit drugs to, including the United States. And that's going to continue. They're going to keep on doing their thing. And besides that, there's other organizations in Mexico and in other countries that are pushing the same thing: fentanyl, whatever, synthetic drugs, whatever they have to push. So as far as arresting this man making a big difference in drug supply and the movement of drugs across the border, yeah, I might put a little hamper for a little damper on things for a little while, but things are going to continue on, you know. This man El Mayo, he's an old guy, you know. He's in his mid to late 70s. The pictures that were shown of him always showed him young, but if you see him now on the photo that was released, he's a very old man. I don't know how his health is, but apparently, if the United States got their hands on him, he's most likely gonna die in prison. You know, they'll probably put him somewhere like ADX or somewhere locked down where he's gonna have a very hard time surviving this ordeal. But he lived his life. He did his thing. You know, everything always ends on a bad note. You know, he never spent any time. He never spent an hour in custody. You know, and now he's in custody, going to spend the rest of his life, the remainder of his life. You know, that's very hard on a person, you know, to accept that and to deal with that, especially at his age, you know. But, you know, he did what he did, and now he's caught, and he's just got to pay the price for his actions, and, you know, that's just the way it is, you know. I'm sure there was contingency plans in case this ever happened. I'm sure they have a contingency plan in place to keep things moving. And this is very important to this man also, because he needs to be provided for, him and his family, during this ordeal. So, yeah, you know, those are very, very violent groups out there, very powerful groups. And one man alone, taking out one man isn't going to stop. You see what happened when they removed the Chapo? Next generation moved up, you know. If the Chapitos don't do it, I'm sure another associate, high level associate's going to step into the place. But that's going to continue. Whatever was going before he was arrested is going to just keep on happening. The U.S. government was determined to catch this man. They didn't notify the Mexican government that they were making this move, and they said because of the corruption in the government, you know, they didn't want it getting leaked back to him, you know, because that would have been very valuable information for El Mayo. He probably would have paid a great deal amount of money to find out that he was going to be betrayed and there was a trap there for him. Somebody would have become very, very rich. I think they had a $15 million price on his head and a $10 million price on El Chapo's son's head, who's also incarcerated, as I'm sure you already know. Anyways, I just real quick wanted to touch on things, but really I wanted to focus on the betrayal, you know, because it's an ugly thing when an organization's betrayed by an individual, you know what I'm saying? And the sad part about it, man, it happens all the time, you know, and you just never know who. You don't know that guy next to you well enough to know that he was gonna pull that one day, you know, or maybe he was suspect, and after he does, you say, man, I knew it. It's too late. But yeah, man, you know, trust can't go too far in any organization, in any neighborhood, in any situation where there's more than two, you know, or more than one, you know. So what I would take away from this video is the disloyalty of organizations and the amount of trust that you can be comfortable with in these types of organizations, including neighborhoods, including gangs, including everything that involves groups or small groups or large groups. You just never know, man, a person's motives, intentions, or how low they can go, you know? And I'm sure El Mayos was shocked that one of the Chapitos turned on him like that. Although maybe, who knows, maybe dude had a feeling, you know? We don't know what that man's feelings were. Apparently, he was able to stay out of the clutches of the law all his life. Because from what I understand, he never spent not even one day in incarcerated. And that's pretty good for a lifetime of crime, murder, and who knows what this guy was involved in, you know? So that's too bad he couldn't make the rest of his life out here where it's free, where there's beautiful things to enjoy and to be with his family, you know? And those are the risks you take when you get involved with any type of gang, organization, or criminal group, you know? So let's make good decisions and stay out of those places and out of those situations so we could be around for our family, our loved ones, be able to play with our kids, our grandkids, and enjoying the good things that life has to offer us. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Hope to see you on the next one. And God bless you and your family. Thank you very much.